I want to go back to like square one, Joe.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
picking that as the place to go, and you've been doing it for a minute. But I feel like I haven't got the full gist. Like you've told me stories, like little pieces of the puzzle. But I want to know like what was the initial seed, the first getting into it. Like take us back to the Chapel Hill days.
It was before it was pre-Chapel Hill.
Pre-Chapel Hill, yeah.
And so if you go all the way back, but that's interesting though. Before I get into this, though, that you were saying that because I spoke at State last week or 2 weeks ago at this entrepreneurial class. I think I do it every semester. Mm-hmm. And that's the first 2 slides I always show. I'm like, all right, so the professor introduced me. I do the whole 90-minute class. Mm-hmm. Like he just doesn't even
take it.
He's like, this is Joe Bunn. Like, and I'm like, whoa, what are we doing? And so it's like, hey. And so the first 2 slides are, here's what you probably think a DJ does.
Exactly.
And it's like a guy playing in a stadium, like at an EDM festival, hands out, 50,000 people. And then it's like, here's what I'm really doing. And it's like me crying watching somebody's first dance, like shot from over here on the side. I'm like, I feel like I'm crying. Like my eyes are definitely closed. I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but I was having a moment. And so I'm like, so I just, before you like set your expectations about, we're not going to be talking about EDC festival. We're going to be talking about like how I built a business from this 100%. Weddings.
Yeah.
Anyway, the story starts in Wilson, North Carolina, where I'm from, Eastern North Carolina. And having 2 parents that were not musical, but music lovers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So always, I mean, to this day, always music in the house, on the radio in the car, going to school. Like very rare to go in that house without music playing.
Oh, interesting, yeah. What were they jamming to?
Like Motown, like or disco.
Yeah.
So when I mean, if I think back to when I was a kid, before I left home to go to school, it would have been like Marvin Gaye, Temptations, even like disco stuff, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Donna Summer, and then of course you had beach music, which is very regional to North and South Carolina.
Yeah.
And that was, and they had vinyl, they had records.
Old school,
we would literally listen to records. And I don't know, I just caught the music bug. I always loved it. And then I remember there was some story about like this DJ, like either quitting DJing this teen club, which was basically just some parents probably renting out like a country club for a bunch of kids that were 13. The boys would sit on this side, and the girls sit on this side.
Hands in the pockets.
Yeah, it was so awkward. And I remember he either quit or... it gets fuzzy here because I don't remember if he quit or if we like staged a coup against him. Like it was like a revolution. Like this guy sucks. I'm going to start doing it. And people were like, what? And I was like, and they were like, you're a DJ? And I'm like, no, but I can do better. And I knew my parents had the music. Right. Yeah. And I remember, there was no internet. I don't remember even how I even knew the concept of like getting a mixer.
Because you got to put it, you had
to put it together, right? Like you had to have a mic. I had one of those little, and I do remember because that was when Radio Shack was hot shit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's a throwback.
So you could go to Radio Shack. They had the strobe lights. They had the cords. They had a mic.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. They had a mixer with a fader made by Realistic. That was the brand, Realistic.
Yeah.
Or Tandy. That was their other hot brand. And I pieced it together, and then I had my parents' home stereo sitting on a table like we're sitting at. Yeah. So there was no speaker stands because there was no hole in the. It was literally a home stereo.
Yeah. Just a wooden fold out.
I think it overheated like 3 times. This kid named Tad Rhodes tripped over the power cord and ripped the whole power out in the middle of the thing. I had no idea what gaff tape was, and my main problem was I think it was like, let's call it like 7 to 10.
Yeah.
I was way short on music. I didn't have enough music to cover the 3 hours.
How many records did you have needed to make it through?
Back then everybody played the whole song. That's right. So you would leave.
You weren't
pop songs were probably 3 minutes, 3 hours.
Let that thing ride.
You would have needed at least 50 songs, and I probably had like 25.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I'd play Stairway to Heaven like at the top of every hour because it was so long. And it was a slow jam. Yeah. So people were like, slow dance. That was like the only song.
Arms,
stiff arm slow dance. And it was, I don't remember how many minutes it was, but
that's amazing.
It would kind of carry that first part of the hour.
Yeah.
And then I'd go back into whatever the 80s songs were popular at the time. Yeah. Run out, go back to Stairway.
Ladies and gentlemen, back to Stairway of Heaven.
And then somehow this guy that was the town DJ catches wind that I'm doing these parties or whatever. And he wanted to get out of it to become the golf pro. So he was switching careers.
This is some small town USA.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't want to be the DJ, town DJ. I want to be the golf pro at the country club.
Yeah.
So he's like,
complete industry
change over. And he sells me his gear. And I think he had a couple contracts too, like at Toyota of Wilson, to do like the sale.
For sure.
And so I buy this trailer. And I don't even think, I wasn't driving. I think my mom would drag this trailer around for me and drop me off, and I would do parties. You know.
It was a family affair getting Joe to the gigs.
Then, like, they'd come back and pick me up at the end of it.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then it goes to like, high school proms.
Yeah.
While I'm in high school. So I'm doing the prom, at the prom.
Oh, yeah.
And then Carolina comes, and that's like unheard of at that time.